LeBron, what kind of challenges does a guy like Giannis present when you see him on the court?
Big time challenge. Big time challenge. His ability to get the ball off the glass, push, facilitate, put pressure on your defense. But I think what a lot of people are misunderstanding about how great Giannis is how they put that team together. They put that team together around him that fits his attributes perfectly. It allows him to get space because they keep so many shooters out on the floor at the same time. It allows him to get downhill because you have to stop him at the point of attack, and you also have to get out to sharpshooters. So they did a great job of constructing that team, putting the pieces around him, like I said, that best fits his game perfectly.
They won that game in December in large part because he had half of the outside. If he does that consistently, put the words, what type of weapon he could be?
No, I mean, that's with anybody. It's not just with Giannis. That's with anybody. If you allow someone to get hot at something that they don't do very often, that's everything, right? It's the same as Michael Jordan against the Blazers when he hit 6 in the first half, and you just tip your hat. It would be the same, myself. I'm shooting a lot of threes. People just kind of like tip their hat, because you're trying to make them do things that I won't say that they don't want to do, but you play the percentages. So, if a guy like Giannis is making threes, don't say you want to give that up, but you'd rather see contested threes over dunks, layups, free throws.
You said after last game that at this time of year you generally change your demeanor and you like to have a talk with your team. You haven't done it yet. Is that something that you do every year? Or is that something that you want to do, especially with so many new faces?
I think the timing will dictate itself. It's just getting close to March Madness. We obviously know the playoffs is around the corner, but for me it's just my approach. It's the way I approach the game, the way I've approached my career, and look forward to the challenge of today, which was great, and also for the challenge tomorrow. So just continue to build the great habits going into the postseason, but also not disrespecting the process of what we can do today, which we got better today.
And obviously championships are the main thing, but where do you put?
Say that again.
So obviously championships are the main thing, but where do you put regular season MVP in the equation of things that drive you and motivate you?
It's never motivated me. Regular season MVP has never motivated me. To be the best to ever play the game has motivated me and has resulted in me being able to be league MVP a couple times. But I've never gone into the season saying, okay, league MVP is what I want to be. I'm going into the season saying, okay, I want to be the MVP of this team. I want to be the best player in the world, and how I approach my game every day, how I take care of my body every day, has resulted in things like that.
How do you evaluate that? How do you evaluate that for yourself?
What do you mean?
If your goal is just to be the best, how do you?
No, that's not my only goal.
No, I didn't mean that it was your only goal. Just meant when you say you want to be the best player in the world, not like MVP is not what you strive for. When you evaluate yourself, how do you?
As far as what? How do I evaluate myself?
How do you know if you succeeded in it?
And being the best in the world. It's just I think it's the way that the games that I play. My leadership. How my teammates feed off my presence and feed off my word. It's so much more than for me being the best player in the world than just going out and doing it on the floor. And I think leadership has a lot to do with it. Having a command, holding yourself accountable, allowing others to hold you accountable as well. So I have a lot of tiers to trying to be the best player in the world. It's not just about the basketball side.
Is this on par with what you were expecting of yourself entering the season, or are there things that you think you've done even better than you anticipated?
Coming to the season, I didn't know I would be the point guard of the team. It was discussed. It was talked about a little bit in the off season, but it was never set in place if I would be the primary ball handler for this ball club. So me doing that is I don't want to say it's surprising, but it's been a challenge. It's something I haven't done since my rookie year, and that was only like a half of a season, maybe even not even that long. So That's something I've had to challenge myself and change my game in that form. Making sure that I continue to get everybody involved. Set the offense up, set the tempo, put guys in position, which I've done a lot in my career, but it's a lot different when you're actually the point guard. If you're a point guard, you would understand. If not, then you're like, what is he talking about? He's always done this. But it's totally different. That's been one of the biggest changes for me, this year.
What is the pride factor to continue to be in the conversation as one of the best players in the game with people who are a decade younger than you?
The only way that I'm continue to be in the conversation is through the grace of God, one. Through the way, I've always respected the game. I believe when you give to the game gives back to you. And then me just taking care of my body and putting in the work. I take care of my body. I know it's my temple. I know without it, I can't do anything. I can't be on the floor. I can't be at my best. And then just continue to have an open mind about how I can continue to get better. I want to continue to get better and see how far or how high this ceiling can go in my career, which I've said it before. So, I don't look for, I don't watch TV shows and things of that nature and sports radio and all that talk shows and things of that nature. But, for my teammates, it's more important that my teammates look at me and they know what they're going to get out of me every night and every day. And just put that type of pressure on myself to know that I could be there for my teammates.
I realize this is a little.
You could use as a team to see where you all kind of stack up. Obviously, the best team record-wise in the West, but playing, the Bucks and the Clippers on a weekend like this.
No, I think it's gonna be a weekend where you can just be like, wow, let's get competitive. It's gonna be two great competitive games, but to know where we stack up, we know where we know where we are. We know who we are. We know we stack up against the best in the league, no matter who it is, win, lose, or draw. But then the competitive side, Friday night Staples, Sunday afternoon at Staples, you just know it's gonna have, against the two of the best teams in the world, you're gonna have it's gonna be a good competition.
I realize this is a little off topic, but like when you have a big week, like in terms of politically Super Tuesday, things like that. How much do you guys talk about that kind of stuff, playing or in the locker room?
Like what?
National events like Super Tuesday, voting, elections, things like that. Is that?
It comes. I think we talk about a little bit of everything. Mm-hmm. Everything that's going on in the world, we kind of discuss. But some of it is more discussed than others.
Is it hard to participate in elections when you're playing?
I don't want to say that. It's hard to keep up with it on a day-to-day, basis for sure. That's challenging. But if you want information, you can get it.
Thanks.
LeBron, being a leader, I know that this game is a regular season game Friday, but is there anything different you tell the guys like for a game like this against top team on the East? Anything different?
No, we got a veteran ball club. There's no need. I don't need to say anything. It's the number one team in the league that we're going against on our home floor. There's nothing. No need to.
Frank, how much time do you spend looking at the video when you played the Bucks right before Christmas?
We'll watch both sides of the ball, all of it.
All of it?
Yeah, and study it, and just like we do, for every game. You study the last time you played the team, and figure out things you can do better on both sides of the ball.
I know it's only the regular season, but how much will tomorrow's game tell you about your team?
A little bit more, but it is still a regular season game, and we'll have a mindset of going out and trying to make the adjustments necessary to beat a team that beat us last time we played them. And when that game's over, we move on to the next one.
Do you think LeBron is having an MVP caliber season?
Of course he is. It's not even debatable. He's definitely having that type of season. Whether he wins it, obviously is up to the voters. But he's definitely putting together an MVP case for sure.
You said that Anthony Davis is the defensive player of the year. Do you have the same definitive statement when it comes to LeBron?
I do. Yeah, the body of work that he put forth, for our team, I don't think it really compares to anybody else. There's a lot of great performances throughout the year, with other players. So, I don't want to take anything away from anybody else, but it's pretty unbelievable that he's, what he means to us on both sides of the ball. His defensive IQ and the ways he impacts the game with his strength, athleticism, scoring the ball the way he does, but also leading the league in assists. And the most important stat is how much we're winning. So to me, it's his It's that simple.
Not to go too down the weeds in this, but Giannis is having a very strong statistical year. Is there something intangible that you feel like makes LeBron's case for your team, something that people don't typically see?
I don't want to talk about other players in the types of season they're having, but the intangible pieces of the IQ and just everything that he brings to the table. I mean, you said the word. It's all the intangibles, and the confidence that he gives our group. Knowing that we have that guy on our side, for sure.
Frank, this might be weird to ask because it's LeBron, but is there anything that he's done this season that maybe even surpassed your expectations going into the year?
I think the way he performs on the second night of back-to-backs is unbelievable. That's one little thing, but I think most of what he's done this year has surpassed my expectations. Yeah. Quite frankly, he's just having a heck of a year. Continues to get stronger, and I think maybe one thing that I wasn't directly around, in years past is just his leadership. And the way he's really kind of rallied our group. Our chemistry is the strength of our basketball team and our unity, and he's been unbelievable with regard to getting all his guys on the same page, supporting the coaching staff, those types of things. As a leader, just get the whole group pulling in the right direction. So that's the other thing.
I know you guys like to stay focused on the process and execution and things like that inside games. But how much do the results of a game like Friday, a game like Sunday matter?
They matter, but it is about the process. It's the simplest way we put it. I remember putting it on the board in an earlier game against one of these teams early in the season that there's no trophy given out for a regular season game. So we're really excited about getting in that moment and seeing where we're at versus the team with the best record in the league, and we're going to go after them and give it our best shot and hopefully prevail. I feel like we'll prevail, but at the end of the day, once that game is over, we return to our growth mindset and our focus on the process.
When you look at game, LeBron said that he starts tightening up his demeanor at this point in the season. Have you seen that? What does that look like from your perspective?
There's certain games where you just kind of know walking around the locker room not to talk to him, because he's in that mode, and I've seen that some since the All-Star break, or even like the Denver game was a good example of that right before the All-Star break. So I've seen a little bit of that, sure.
When you look at the last game and how well Giannis shot from three, did you walk away from the game, and do you look at that game now thinking the defensive plan was sound? He just took the shots that we wanted him to take and made them?
I think we got to make his threes harder. That's what I think. He's taking them every game. He's making them sometimes, and if you give guys open shots, rhythm shots, there's a good chance they're going to make them. So. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to overreact to that. Number one priority is keep him out of the paint. But you see him going into that shot, we got to guard it.
Where is that threshold for guys that can shoot threes but aren't necessarily super prolific at it, where you decide, okay, this is something you either want to take away or
make it as difficult? Yeah, when you want to take away the paint first with a guy like that, you make it as difficult as you can, contest it as well as you can without compromising your containment.
You just have to make that evaluation based on how good the shooter is, really.
Yeah. It's pretty much kind of just maybe put your hand up. That's kind of a soft suggestion. If you guys on the other team shooting the ball, maybe put your hand up.